As somebody who put in over 1,000 hours into the first Destiny, I was excited to finally get my hands on a playable version of Destiny 2. From the gameplay reveal in May to the final days of the beta itself, I've been thinking about this game a lot. And I have to say, I'm not really impressed with the beta, but I'm not disappointed either. Now, I know the beta isn't really meant to be played as a player demo, where you're supposed to make your official opinions on the full game. It's meant to help the company that is hosting the beta to squash out the last few bugs and give the servers a good old stress test. But I do feel like the beta is a good way to gauge how you'll like the gameplay. As far as the beta goes, it feels very similar to the first Destiny, so for someone like me who loved the first game, I felt right at home. But for people who didn't like the original, this could be a bad sign. The game has changed in a few small ways, like new supers, and now all classes having an extra ability. For the Hunter, it's a dodge that can either reload your weapons or give you a melee buff. Warlocks can put down a healing rift, or one that boosts the damage of those who stand in it. And my favorite, the Titans. The Titan can put up a small barrier that you can hide behind to take some quick cover, or you can use the taller towering barrier. I like the towering barrier because it's best used to block off pathways for enemies in the Crucible. These new side abilities throw in a little more depth to the game's PvP, making you take into account that the enemy you're trying to engage with could have one of these hidden up their sleeve. There are also 3 new subclasses: Dawnblade, Sentinel, and Arcstrider. All of the new supers are pretty fun to play with, but while we're on the topic of supers, my biggest gripe with the beta build of the game is with abilities and supers. Since companies are realizing the potential of esports in the gaming industry, the version of Destiny 2 we got to play in the beta was balanced heavily to favor PvP. Things like slower super recharge and less grenade damage are things I saw most people complaining about. Having supers come back so slowly made PvE almost boring. One of the most unique things about Destiny was that it was an FPS that had an ultimate ability that you charged up to get, and having the satisfying moment of clearing out a wave of adds in one movement, or saving your friends in a clutch, last-ditch effort. Taking that away makes the game feel pretty much nothing more than Halo but with custom classes. Most games in PvP only lasted long enough to where pretty much everybody got their supers in the last 1 minute of the game. Turning the last moments into a frenzy of super spamming, where everybody is just cancelling out each other's supers. I feel like the super should be gamed somewhere around the middle of the match, especially for those who are doing well. My favorite moments in Destiny 1 can often be found in the raids, and those are easily the things I'm looking most forward to in Destiny 2. If they don't fix up supers and balance weapons for PvE, they could end up ruining one of the best parts of Destiny just to make PvP players happy. Either they need to find a happy medium in the balancing between PvP and PvE, or they need to have separate balancing between the two modes. All that being said, Destiny 2's beta was much better than that of the first games. Some people complaining about the lack of content in the beta, and I find that silly. First game's beta had too much content for a beta, letting much of Earth's missions be completed, therefore letting an entire fourth of the game to be played before release. I don't think this is the right way to make a beta. I mean, I'm not a game developer, so I wouldn't know, but the word beta has been butchered in the latest version of the gaming climate. Companies often using beta as a term for free demo before the game comes out to generate hype. It's very obvious that Destiny 1's beta was very much like that. But Destiny 2's beta was actually a beta, a tool for the devs to stress test the servers and players to get a small taste of a very small sliver of the full game. Probably gonna drop in another 1,000 hours into this ever-changing grindfest that kept dragging me back in. Even with the problems I had with the beta, I'm still gonna pick up the second game.